Hi, my name's Kelly Bird, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I am passionate about leadership development, and I absolutely love our city. The city of Fort Wayne is special, and we have, over the last 12 years, seen the GLS impact not only personal lives like mine, but we've watched the Global Leadership Summit make an enormous difference in the life of our city, even our region. And I share our story with you today, simply in the hopes that maybe God might use some of this to prompt and encourage you to leverage the summit in your community as God moves His work forward in your city. In 2002, as the senior pastor of Blackhawk Ministries, our team decided to host our first Global Leadership Summit as a new site in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The summit proved to be a very effective tool for our ministry staff, our church family, and other leaders from our community to come and get better as leaders. It was after hosting the event a few years that I sensed a unique willingness on the part of a local kingdom-minded businessman named Darrell Doden, who had a huge heart for our city and a passion for leadership development. To influence more local leaders to attend, we pursued a scholarship fund and asked Darrell to help by matching the funds I raised. He agreed, and that first year we raised $10,000 that was matched by Darrell and his team at Ambassador Enterprises. As a result, hundreds of local under-resourced ministry teams and leaders were given the gift of attending the Global Leadership Summit here in Fort Wayne. We were at that time hovering around 400 summit attendees and sensed a new whisper from the Holy Spirit. Ambassador Enterprises, you see, was not the only corporation in Fort Wayne that had shown an interest in the summit. In fact, I knew several high-level executives attending each year and decided to ask them to help us fund our vision to impact our city through the GLS. As we pursued helping more local leaders, we met other community leaders of organizations who shared the very same vision. Not only were many of these local organizations ready to enlarge their financial support to help more leaders attend, but the team at Parkview Regional Medical Center had an extremely compelling suggestion. The suggestion was to move the Global Leadership Summit away from Blackhawk into the brand new Grand Wayne Center, located in downtown Fort Wayne, away from the church campus. It was their contention that a growing number of local businessmen and women were very interested in the GLS, but felt somewhat reluctant to attend a world-class leadership event that was being held in a church. The suggestion was made out of the hope of seeing this event more accessible and inviting to a broader demographic of people. And so we moved it. With this move into the Grand Wayne Center, a grander vision for our entire city was realized, that when leaders get better, all of Fort Wayne wins. Needless to say, Blackhawk's GLS satellite site that following year experienced quite a bump. The first year at this new venue, we went from 400 to 950 registrations. Local corporate attendance went up 30%. The attendance of ministry leaders rose as well. And the greatest bump came in the interest shown by a growing number of new corporate sponsors. As the vision grew in 2014, we saw over $100,000 come in through corporate donations, and the attendance at our Fort Wayne site hit almost 1,300 leaders. It was in the fall of that same year that I transitioned from Blackhawk and was hired by a good friend and CEO of Sweetwater Sound, who was a corporate partner of our Fort Wayne GLS at the time. I was asked to oversee leadership development at Sweetwater, and the company became the new title sponsor for our ongoing efforts with the Fort Wayne GLS. The vision for our city found its way onto 8 billboards that were donated by Sweetwater Sound CEO Chuck Surak, which were placed on the major interstates and featured key leaders, young and old, from our city. As we continued to leverage the summit in Fort Wayne, we grew to 35 corporate partners and 10 ministry partners in 2015. Between those 45 partners, we saw over $320,000 donated to reach more leaders in our city. With that level of support, we had 2,400 in attendance at the 2015 GLS. You know, when I first started hosting the summit, I never realized the type of impact it could have on our entire city here in Fort Wayne. And if you have a vision for your city, there are a few things I'd love to encourage you to do. Number one, leverage the summit as a resource to bring leaders together to get better. Secondly, Find a few kingdom-minded businessmen or women in the community who share your vision and ask them to get involved, to start a scholarship fund for your local leaders. And lastly, consider the best venue for reaching the maximum number of leaders in your city, which for some of you might mean moving it from your church into a new venue or maybe launching a new site altogether. God is doing amazing things through the Global Leadership Summit, and every year, more and more Fort Wayne leaders are getting better. And we know now that as our leaders get better, all of Fort Wayne wins.